Welcome to the third episode of this series. We learned what a function is in the last episode, and we have used a few function calls too. As you remember, we call a function by writing its name followed by parentheses or round brackets. If we have to pass any arguments to the function, we list them inside the brackets, separated by commas. All these functions can run with or without arguments. In Python, all functions return something, return values. Even the print function, which seems to return nothing, returns something. More about that later. These are the functions that are built into the standard Python. What if we have some particular problem with no built-in solution? We can always bring our own functions to programs. For this, we need to define the new function somewhere in our program. The syntax for a function definition is like this. The first line is the header, and the rest of the lines, the body. Header starts with the keyword def, and ends with a colon. Choose a name that aptly describes what the function does. By convention, we use small case letters and hyphens to write function names. No Python keywords as names. There is a pair of round brackets after function name, and the parameters are listed inside these brackets. More about list of parameters later. Body must be indented one level right to the header. That is, by convention, put 4 spaces at the beginning of each line. An example, with no parameters. Let's run this program in the shell. Nothing gets printed, right? Here's another program. Not printing 4, 5, or 6. As pointed out earlier, statements are executed in the order they are written. But a function definition, it's executed only when the function is called somewhere. When a function call is found, control is passed to the function body. Body statements are then executed in order. When the function body ends, control returns back to the calling statement. You can even write a return statement to force the control to return from any line. As we know, we can pass values to some function calls, arguments. Inside the function, those values are saved to variables, called parameters. What all are accepted as arguments? The list of parameters declares that. Let's rewrite our functions with one parameter each. Username and first num are the parameters here. Call functions like this. These values we passed during call are the arguments. And these variables that store those values are the parameters. Question: what will be the output of this call? Guess the result, and then try it in a shell to make sure. Similarly, we can define functions with multiple parameters. The first parameter is expected to be a string, and the second, an integer. We can include this information in the function definition. This annotation helps us to easily understand the expected parameter types. Also, a function can call another function. A function can even call itself. But an infinite loop it is. Functions can return values. We already know that. Check out this program that converts temperature input from Celsius to Fahrenheit and Kelvin. Now, let's define 2 functions to do this conversion. One to convert to Kelvin, and the other to Fahrenheit. Both these functions have return statements. Keyword return, followed by a space, and an expression, whose value will be passed to the calling statements. Just like we annotated the parameter types, we can annotate return type also. Let's end with a question from the beginning. What does the print call return? It returns a special value, none. If there's no return statement in any function, it will return none. Before moving on to the next episode, let's recap what we have learned. If you have any question, feel free to ask that in comments below. In our next episode, we will learn about conditionals.